Hi, this is the fourth in a series of videos where I'm putting some standard algorithms into a module library in a live code program. This video is about finding the maximum value, and you can see that in RAM I have an array, a one-dimensional array called DataList, and it has 5 elements. And what I would like to have happen at the end of the piece of code is that in my single entity variable max value I have the maximum value. So in order to do that, I need to look through the list from 1 to 5, and as I find successively larger values, I want to put them into max value. So when index into the array is 1, the current maximum value would be 20, and then as my index changes to 2, I look at this one here, and it is larger, so I'm going to change that to 26. Index changes to 3, and I look at data list 3, and it's not larger, so I don't make any change. Index changes to 4, and data list 4 is larger, so I'm going to record that one. And index changes to 5, and I look at data list 5, compare it with this, and make no change. So I'm going to have a fixed loop going from 1 to n, the number of values in the array. And the only question to decide is what we make our initial value for max value. In this particular situation, we could make it 0, because we're talking about people's ages, if you refer to previous videos, and we're not going to expect anybody to be less than 0 years old. But that's not necessarily a good value for different data sets. If we were talking about the highest value in an array of negative temperatures, say, then this would be the maximum value. So in fact, a good way of doing this is to actually use one of the values in the data set to initialize max value, so that everything else is referenced to that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually say that I want max value to start off at the first value. So I'm going to put data list 1 into max value, and then I'm going to compare all the other values to that. So my index can start off at 2. Having put the first one in here, I can then go from 2, 3, 4, 5, comparing them. So I look at the second one, and this is going to change to 26. The third one, no change. Fourth one changes to 51. And the fifth one, no change. So let's go and do that in live code. So here I have my module library, it's on the card, and I have a handler called findMaximum, and n is going to be passed in as the number of values to look at, and DataList is my array that's got the values in it. Just bring that in a bit. Right, so I will do what I just did in the Word document. I'm going to put data list 1 into max value, and I'm just going to look at that line there. I've got 2 variables. One is my array, and that's being passed in, so it's already local to this handler, but I'm producing this variable called max value, so I'm going to declare that local to this handler. And then, just quite simply, I'm going to go around from 1 up to n. Well, in fact, if you remember on the Word document, I went from 2 to n because I've already picked up the first one. And if the one I'm looking at in data list is more than my maximum value that I've got so far, then, no, we don't need to put it on the next line, but I'll just do that just to show you the end if. So I'm going to put my data list index into max value. And once I've gone round the whole loop from 2 up to n, looking at each one in turn, then I should have my maximum value, and I can put something like max value into field, and I think I called it display max. So over here I'm hoping that the maximum age will pop up over there. So I need to just check that I have all my variables sorted out. Well, I have index, let's make that local. Data list is coming in as a parameter. These are what are called formal parameters, and it'll be passed in an array from outside as an actual parameter. Max value I've declared locally because I'm using it locally. Index is a local variable, and that's all my variables sort of declared or declared locally. So let's see if it works. If you remember, I need to actually call the handler, so I'm going to go on to maximum age, and let's just check what it's called. Find maximum. I'm going to copy that over just to make sure I get the parameters. Now these are going to be the actual parameters, so I'm going to pass over 5, and the array that I particularly want to look at is called ages, and if you remember, I need to declare that globally so that I can pick up the array ages that I got the values for when I got the data. So let's just see if that works. So let's get some data. Let's go 23. Then I'm going to do a higher value, so it should pick up that. Then a lower value. Let's do our 51, and then it should ignore the 37. So let's just display that to make sure they've gone in correctly. Maximum age is 51. Thanks for watching.